Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Chibble, the GOAT of ring announcers. And you're listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.
Good evening. You can speak. Nobody holding your tongue from you, you know.
Well, it's a group show, so I figured, why not give you the opportunity, Talking about, team effort here, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you. It's been a very interesting week.
Yeah.
And I will have to say that the first question I got to ask you, though, is who's next on the comeback trail to where, because I think the most long-awaited person to come back is done. Anybody else?
Okay, so that was Friday, and I think we're jumping ahead of the current game here. We got a lot of stuff to get into before we get into that. So Monday we find out that Roman, first and foremost, is going to be out for a while, right? After what happened at Clash in Paris. What do you think that's about?
We do that with quotes?
Yeah.
What that's about is basically like this. He has that contract to where he works a certain amount of dates a year, and you know what? That's all writing him off TV. But but the good part about that is they don't announce it. Yeah, he's taking time off, but then we're still gonna do the squash on him, even though people already know he's taking the time off.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's your highest selling guy. Let's go back to your favorite era, the Vince era. And during that era, they'd be running him into the ground because he sells merch, because everybody wants to see him. And I mean, right now, Roman Reigns is what I would consider Vince McMahon's wet dream.
I think once they went public, back before they went public, what you just said, absolutely. But once they went public and now your stockholders and stuff like that took more of a vested interest in it, they needed to know if these guys were out legit or storyline. But here's the thing. Nowadays, but when these guys take off, and if you've heard people talk about Triple H, he is so much more receptive to vacations, taking time off, do this.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to stab Vince in the chest with a steak knife to get 2 days off to go see your kid born.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't know if he has kids that play football. Right now, you're in that high school football period to where if he does, he wants to be home. It's the AJ thing. AJ went to Monday Night Raw so he could be home on Friday nights to go see his kids play football.
Yeah, and that's absolutely, I think, a Paul Levesque thing, because Vince wouldn't have done that. Look, we've talked about it. So I've been, as much as I'm not a fan of Errol Hawani, he's really kind of won me over looking at some of these old videos. And we're going to talk about the Psycho Stu stuff as well. CM Punk, when he came back, right? I'm talking when he had the elbow brace on because he tore his bicep and all that, or tricep.
The first time.
When he came back this time, yeah. He basically said that he said, I don't know how to say it. I'll just say it. The atmosphere is so much better. It's more positive and kinder and friendlier, and people aren't trying to fuck you over constantly. And I'm curious what you think about that. Do you think that it was a Vince McMahon aura that everybody was trying to gut each other because that was his style? We're talking about a guy, and I quote Paul Heyman, who was so addicted to competition that, again, he created competition in his own company when WCW was gone.
Well, my question is, when was the last year WWE didn't have guaranteed contracts? When was the last year?
They've had it forever, remember?
No, what I'm saying is, so when he left, the guaranteed contract wasn't in place when he left.
Yes, they are. They're still they'll pay him you'll get whatever.
No, what I'm saying is 2012 or 2011 when he left. Not everybody back then was on that guaranteed contract. He comes back now, they're all on it. So whether you're out there for 10 minutes a week or 10 minutes a month, you're getting paid.
They were on that. Yeah, they've been on that forever. Cena's been on that. Why do you think Cena was pushed
what I'm
down?
saying is everybody's on it now. Nobody gets house show revenue. everybody's on a guaranteed contract now. And I'm saying is when he left in 2011, 2012, how many of the boys and girls weren't on your guaranteed contracts? Because back then, only a handful were.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. I'm saying is when did that page flip to where everybody, because they were running a lot of house shows back then still, so you were still getting your house show revenue. So that's the reason why, nowadays, hey, we don't have to worry about the house show revenue because everybody gets guaranteed contracts.
Well, let's talk about 2012, 2013, whatever, all that 10 years ago, if not more. We will talk about AJ Lee. We will talk about the women's division and how far it's come. And, what we saw on Monday is the Seth Rollins angle. Now we're going with Becky Lynch because we're having a clash in Paris. Is now he's hiding behind his wife, right?
Yep.
You have been pushing this narrative down my throat all week. And I want you to tell these people what you think about this narrative of if it was a man doing it, it would not be allowed.
Becky smacking CM Punk.
Yeah.
If a man was smacking a woman, okay, the uproar that would be going on right now. If he had grabbed her hand to defend himself, I feel there'd be an uproar.
I don't know about that. But
I'm just saying is the fact of the line that can be crossed that cannot crossed. Where do we draw that line? I understand it's fantasy / a work, all that stuff. But in the mind of a lot of people out there, it's a line that's being crossed.
I don't know. You say a lot of people. I was more upset because she botched the slap. I mean, other than that.
I'll tell you who didn't botch a slap. AJ, she didn't botch a slap.
No, but what I'm saying is like it was clear as day this is going to happen. It was clear as day that this was going to go down like that. Like it was, yeah.
I will put it like this, okay? It was 10
Oh yeah. Hold on. Even though it got leaked, what about that? You said, is this real? Where WWE shop accidentally leaked that AJ Lee was coming back on Friday.
Here's my thing about that, okay? I guess there was just way too much interest. The interest, this is probably got to be the one time where the interest outweighed kayfabe. The amount, they probably had so many people.
Somebody fucked up. Come on.
No, hold on. I'm saying to you is the money that TKO was probably looking at, like, because the amount of people they probably heard from. We want this, like we want this. The amount of money, they were screaming the money. And if you looked at the video, she signed the contract the day of. Could something have gone wrong? Absolutely. But when you look at it and you say, okay, WWE shop dropped the ball. Did it increase the value of that contract? Would I like to know? Did it increase it? We screwed up. We're going to make it more favorable for you. Because we messed up. We shouldn't have released it.
You heard that pop, right?
Yeah.
How much more favorable they got to make it? She's going to make at least $1 million just on merchandise sales from one shirt.
That's what I'm saying. Are we going to increase your merchandise percentage from 4% to 5%? It's something to where, hey, because we made a mistake, we're going to make it more favorable for you. Here we go. Our mistake. It was multi-year.
Well, I also think that there's a lot of benefits for her. I mean, we watched that video. She was happy to be there. Punk legitimately is crying because he's her biggest fan. 100%.
If you listen to me, what did I say about that? A true professional wrestler is also a mark for the business because they want to see the business succeed at all times. Not only for their own pockets, but for other people, because we all know if the business is doing good all around, and that's you can go from WWE to every other organization. If you're doing good all around, it's in all the performers benefit because everybody's making money. Unless, you're a guy who likes to run his mouth and he's a stooge. He likes to blow people off, run his mouth about other.
Well, I know what you're about to go into. And before you go there, let's just be, I thought y'all were best buddies because you did referee at a show he was at. You'll be coming up next Sunday refereeing again for that same organization.
No, not next. No.
Or you'll be in the near future. You're going to be refereeing again for that company. But we're talking about the greatest transitional star. If you didn't know about this, I'm just letting you know, the greatest transitional star from MMA to wrestling. Oh. Yeah, Matthew Riddle. I mean, what a guy. So wait, before I let you go on your tangent, let me just break it down because I'm gonna let you have the floor. And
I'm not going to go on for a tangent. It's going to be very small.
Okay, so he was supposed to show up and do a charity wrestling event. It was already outfitted that this whole event was about charity for people for domestic abuse, and veterans. And he no-showed and then did not pay back the expenses that they had already paid. Now, and as the recording of this video, he has paid back the expensive, but it was a whole fucking tirade of shit he went on. The deposit and a bunch of other shit. It was a whole tirade he went on, even going so far as to say something about AJ Lee and how she got around. Like it was like he's a fuck. Oh yeah, CM Punk hanging out in the girls' locker room in NXT. Like he was just trying to go scorched earth. And again, one company I know of at least has already cut ties with him. Who's going to say what's going to happen next for him? But you've got to meet the guy. What do you think? What's your opinion of the guy?
I will say this, and I'll say this a lot of these guys who don't know how to handle social media and stuff like that, but they make a living off of basically social media because that might be how they're booked and stuff like that. The one problem with him is this: he can perform in the ring. I don't think that's denied. I think it's undeniable he can perform in the ring. Keep your opinions to yourself, because what I heard is that he was talking about SA and DV, sexual assault and domestic violence. Out of no entertainer's mouth, in no way, shape, or form, can you ever put a positive spin on sexual assault and domestic violence.
No.
You can't do it. And if you're going to try and put a positive spin on it, have a lot more character than the person that's coming out of his mouth. Because his character, if his character was a little bit better morally, then what comes out of his mouth, maybe you could take with the grain of salt that he's talking about it with.
Okay, but we can point to the downhill spiral of him going back to the Me Too movement when he's it's not alleged anymore. His mistress, who he was cheating with, and his wife found out about it, knew about it, which, again, it's not against the law to cheat. I mean, as a person, it kind of makes you look kind of sus, and maybe other people will have criticism about it.
Moral clause, not a,
It's a moral thing. But she accused him of all this horrible shit, and, he didn't handle it well. He really didn't. And then, the stuff with him and Seth, having real heat or whatever, he never recovered from that. And I feel bad because he's a damn good wrestler, but it did kind of show his character.
But I will say, and I think you'll agree with me this: he's not the first one.
Won't be the last one.
Won't be the last one. Don't that his athletic ability in the ring doesn't give him the credit for what he says and does outside the ring.
Agreed. But it goes back to somebody like Alberto Del Rio, who apparently the fans in AAA want him back. They want El Patron, and I don't get it. Maybe it's a cultural thing. I get it, whatever. But, how could you want a guy who's been accused multiple times of these horrible, horrendous things done to Saraya, also known as Paige in WWE, his ex-girlfriend, who accused him of basically locking her up and violating her over and over again, and yet they want this guy back in the ring? I don't get it. One of the few joys I have regarding Alberto Del Rio is I got to show her a documentary where Mirko Krokop kicked his fucking brains out of his head in a pride fight. But I don't,
throughout the course of, we all know throughout the course of professional wrestling history, there's always been some of these guys who are not the biggest guys morally. Doesn't make them, the only thing is we get to hear about it more because of social media and stuff like that. If he didn't spew his garbage on social media, Who would listen to it?
Well, but there's also like I would call it for your big stars an absolute desire to cover this shit up, and no further than Steve Austin, Jimmy Snuka. I mean, and granted, the two incidents are completely well, they're not completely different, but they're not nearly as
The
bad
thing
as
with
one.
Austin, the thing with Austin came out just as the internet was really booming.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Snooker doesn't really.
Did you just say snooker?
Snooker.
You said
Snooker. Okay.
If we get shirts for this show, we're adding the ER to everything he does.
What I'm saying is, if you don't have your investigative reports like you guys and other people, that stuff with Snooker never comes out.
Yeah.
The thing with Austin only got out because the internet was taking off, and it made the papers.
Well, but okay, if it was something like that, you would think if it's getting to a point where you can't hide this stuff, why wouldn't you keep your nose clean? Why would, if you knew that you're this is the life you want to live? Nobody gets into professional wrestling because they're forced to.
Nobody gets into the entertainment industry because listen, it happens in the entertainment industry. It happens in professional sports. Shit happens. Listen, I don't believe a professional football player should ever play football again after the video of him beating the crap out of his girlfriend
and throwing her in that TV. Yeah, that was bullshit.
He got a game suspension or whatever it was, or maybe a year, but it's like he got to go back.
Yeah, but you have to also think with this: are companies putting that clause into their contracts? Like, I'm sure WWE does. They absolutely put that fucking zero tolerance clause.
You go to the one right now. There's this guy from the Tampa Bay Rays in the Dominican Republic, where the mother of the girl, she was 14. He was paying the mother so he could have consensual sex with a 14-year-old daughter. I'm saying stuff like this when you're a professional athlete, your name should not be anywhere near it. And when it comes to Riddle, it's like, hey, Matt, there's no need for you to bring these people down. It doesn't make you look any better, brother.
Bro.
It just doesn't make him look any better.
So what did I miss, boys?
We just got into the Matt Riddle stuff, basically, about him no showing.
All right. So can we not pretend that this guy, like, again, you're talking about wasted potential, man. Like, I was one of the Matt Riddle apologists because, like, from the beginning of Matt Riddle's run, everyone was saying,
time out. Did you comb your hair for the show?
No, my buddy helped me with that.
Did you comb your hair for the show? I mean, it does. It looks good. But did you comb your hair for the show?
Yeah. What else? I cut my hair too. It's great.
Go on.
Fucking beautiful. I don't like. I don't like the way my haircut's looking. I feel like I look like the fucking Mad Hatter sometimes. Like the way my haircut's looking.
Trips likes it. Trips likes it. She thinks it looks good.
Oh, okay. Well, then everything's fine in the world. But here's the thing with Matt Riddle. I was one of the biggest Matt Riddle apologists. I was like, this guy is going to be the fucking man. He's going to be the next Brock Lesnar, man. Look how that turned out. But this guy is a constant problem now. And it's just like, I wouldn't even say problem. It's just, he's a constant boil. Like on your ass that you just want to pop, and like every time you pop it, it just doesn't go away. I agree with you.
I agree with you 100%. You just said it right there. I think the best thing you said about that statement is wasted potential, because no one's denying how good he is in the ring.
Well, and that's the sad thing about all this is that he's a great worker. Like he's proven himself. Like he had a great match with Roman Reigns. He had a great tag team with Randy Orton. He's had great matches in NXT. Like even some of the MLW stuff he's been doing since he became champion. He's been doing good. But this just screams he's drugged out. He's on drugs. That's what it is. He's on drugs.
He's never denied his love for marijuana.
No. I'm not talking about marijuana. No, this guy, he's coke. He's on coke. That's what it is. He's coked out.
Allegedly
Or he's
conspiracy.
on-
Allegedly. You have to say allegedly because we can't.
Allegedly, he's on coke.
Or I am of the opinion that Matt Riddle may be indulging in cocaine.
Yeah, and he indulges in it, and that's fine. Okay, like that's great. You know, if your heart's in the right place,
Did
I don't
you
care
really?
what you
If you're going to say this, you need to say it.
Okay.
She said,
come on the show. Come on, don't be a coward. I'm sorry, Trips.
Wow, you're getting called out by Jacob.
I'm sorry, Trips. I'm sorry.
The boy who's in the trailer, you're getting called out by.
She said maybe him and Tony have the same hookup.
Hey, listen. Okay, listen. I don't think Tony does coke. I think it's straight up Adderall, and he just takes way too much of it. Because the way he runs, the way he acts, like when he does interviews, I don't know. It takes one to know one, my guy.
The Mars podcast does not condone the overuse of Adderall or anything of that nature.
No, we do not.
Or any drug for that matter.
Or any drug. Yeah, no, you can do whatever you want. It's okay. How's my hair? Does my hair look terrible or does it look good?
No.
Where's the light socket you put your finger in?
You're going to talk about haircuts, $1 Million Man?
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. We've all seen the Chili Bowl haircut you call the $1 Million Man haircut in your old photos. When you were roughly his age in your little WWF blazer. Did you see? Hey, did you see the photo? Andre the Giant was in crutches behind him in that photo. Did you see it? Did you see it, Jacob?
That's fucking amazing. Do you still have any of those blazers left?
Oh, hell no. I'd be a fat man on a little coat right now.
You at least should have
You could have sent it.
On to at least one of them.
You could have sent that blazer to Jacob. He would have worn it with pride.
Dude, I would have rocked that shit.
Wait a minute. You know what? I can block this right here. There he is right there in the back.
I see him.
You can see Andre right there.
Jesus. Never going to let that die, are we?
Well, if you want to go there, then look at that head of hair.
You look like you're taking a shit.
I was trying to get out of the view of the camera.
So another thing that came up was we finally have what's going to happen with the women's world title. Stephanie Vicaire at WrestlePalooza is going to take on Io Sky. But I'm kind of torn in this because y'all know I'm a big Stephanie Vicaire fan. I love Stephanie Vicaire. I think her in-ring style is great. But Io Sky is arguably the best worker, man or woman in the business right now.
I mean, the best way. I'm sorry, Gerard. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think they're gonna find a way to put Rhea in this match
At WrestlePalooza?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is, okay, with that fantasy booking hat on, you're going to do Io versus Stephanie. Asuka's going to cost Io. They do Asuka, or maybe Rhea, and Rhea's going to come out. You're going to do Rhea versus Asuka in Perth.
But if it means nothing,
it's in Perth.
I'm just saying, if it means nothing,
it's literally okay. So again, I can commend them for trying to make
Rhea cashes in what?
He's always saying people cash in. I just figured.
Oh yeah, he does. Jar's favorite line is they cash in.
Well, no, because I already know the cash is already over.
There has not been a good mid-card women's feud at all that I can recall. And it's unless it's for a title, there's really not anything. And this whole Rhea, Asuka, Io Sky, and then Pirate Asuka.
Poor Kairi Sane caught in the middle. I love her. It's okay.
It's Pirate Asuka. That's what she is. She's Pirate Asuka. That's what she is. And
wait, you don't like Kairi Sane?
No, I love Kairi Sane, but it's they don't do anything.
Kairi Sane.
Then Kairi, yeah, I mean, but it's just she's just Asuka. It's Asuka's pirate. There we go. It's not Pirate Asuka. It's Asuka's pirate next to her. That's the thing. I refuse to call Lyra Valkyria by her name because she's always going to be Bird Girl to me unless fucking proves something otherwise.
Wait a
But
minute.
it's
I'm gonna
literally.
I have to interrupt. We have a producer here who doesn't know how to spell people's names. And I will not have my name tarnished.
Look here.
You're being called out on. You're being called out all day.
I'm done.
Jareers?
That's what I'm saying. Wait a minute.
Careers.
I can't type. I'm over here.
All right. Well, barring our producer, messing up stuff aside, it's just no. I'm just kidding. I love you, Trips. I love you. I'm sorry. No, but no. It's like it's the matter of we literally have the first time like in a long time that there's a mid-card women's feud that's interesting. You know what I mean? Gerard Maleader. I'm surprised you don't pronounce your own name like that, Gerard. But
it's kind of hard to mess that up. I'm French. You put the R there; it's no longer French.
Yeah, but you put on everything. You know, John Cena.
Yeah.
So we were
Jimmy Snooker.
Well, I mean, just in any arena that any of these talents are in, Asuka and Rhea Ripley, they get a reaction. It's like this is a feud that people are interested in. Something's going down, but I just can't deal with this constant EO going back and forth like, oh, you my friend, but you my friend too. And then you're also my friend, but then we're also friends. And and it's like, it really just doesn't I don't know, man. And I don't know what's going to go down with this women's world title thing. I feel like it's too soon to put it on Vicaire, but I wouldn't complain if it's going on Vicaire.
Well,
because,
let this comment right here. Okay. Hear me out.
It's not a bad,
Asuka costs Io the match. Io loses her shit. Asuka beats her up. Rhea comes out, saves Io. Kyrie comes out, saves to break the fight up between them. That's not a bad shot right there. I mean, that's not a bad call.
Well, they're really you're going to invest in Kyrie.
That's not about investing in Kyrie. It's putting on a match for Perth. Asuka and fucking Io against fucking the Kabuki Warriors in Perth.
Let me ask you this. If you want to take it further, and then you get to Perth, and then does Io turn on Rhea, so that way the Kabuki Warriors are back to being the
Why do you want there always to be a swerve or a turn or a split or a cash-in?
Okay,
or the Miz,
I'm only asking. Listen, I'm only asking because, if you're going to do something like that.
Fucking Jim Cornette over here. If they come out in a box, they instantly get over. Everybody knows that.
Everyone in the box.
Everybody in the box gets over.
I mean,
bro, he said something insane, bro. He said everyone who comes out of a box is over. And bro, who the hell is coming out of boxes, bro?
Okay. So here's the thing though. With the return that we had Friday night, does it take away from the other women on the roster?
Yes, and it should, because listen, here's the thing. If I'm talking main roster talent right here. This is main roster women. This is main roster women. Can we hit the music right now?
Oh God.
I would love to, but when we transitioned over, we lost everything. We barely got the other stuff back.
Oh.
All right, so here we go. So it's Jacob's yeah. So here we go. So for anyone that is saying, oh, AJ Lee's coming back, oh, she's taking up a spot. Listen, NXT is doing fine as far as women goes. They have Sol Ruka. By the way. They have Sol Ruka. That's all you need to know. All right. By the way. But they have Sol Ruka. They have Lola Vice. They have Kalani Jordan. They have Jordan Grace. Royden Race. I'm sorry. Scooby-Doo. Royden Race. They have Royden Race there. They have fucking what do they call fucking Mariah? Blake Monroe. Terrible name, by the way. Fucking horrible presentation. But they have all these great women in NXT. They need to be in NXT for a little bit. So now that AJ Lee is back and now she's working with this someone, man, I loved Becky Lynch, man. I loved, press tense, loved. But the fact that Becky Lynch comes out there now and she's a clear example of a girlfriend who wants to be her boyfriend. If that makes any sense, like she's picking up all of Seth's mannerisms and all of
Jacob, one thing I want to
Seth came in her and all the wrong, like Seth came in her for all the wrong reasons. Man,
hey, wait a minute, come on. Hey, just so you know,
injected his boring venom inside of Becky, and now it's never gone. It hasn't gone away in 4 years, and we're just sitting here. And Becky, and the fact that again, the vision. Oh, we got to talk about the vision. Yeah, first of all, why didn't Bronson Reed win that match? Why didn't Bronson Reed win that match? Like after all the shit that happened,
hold on, Gerard. What was the point you were going to make?
First of all, Rhea is not picking up Seth's routine. Seth has picked up Rhea's routine.
You mean Becky?
Becky.
He said Becky.
Okay.
And hold on. I have no problem with Jim Cornette. I do enjoy me some Jim Cornette. I think he's a madman sometimes, but I do very much enjoy the older style of booking.
But I was saying is that Becky has never changed. Seth has just become his wife. Okay.
Becky has never changed?
No, Seth.
Are you kidding me?
Seth has become her. She didn't become him.
No. You got that mixed up. Hold on.
No, hold on. Y'all got me curious now. Hold on. Jacob, argue your point. Why has Becky become Seth?
Because listen, before like any of the, so when Becky went away, because she got knocked up and had to, have her kid, like most women do. When she went away and when she came back and she became big time Bex and this shit, she came out wearing these dumb sunglasses. That was right after Seth started doing that shit with all the dumb outfits. And then it just progressed onto that. And then now that, like, ever since she turned on Bird Girl, she's coming out here and she's wearing Seth's robes. Like, because, like, again, like, she's coming out there fucking, like, she just acts like Seth. And then now that she's into the Vision, by the way, one of the worst faction names that's ever been fucking done in the history of wrestling. And yes, that includes 3MB. And because, again, I love 3MB because, again, it has, the main man, fucking the greatest of all time.
That's your argument. So, Gerard, why do you think that?
My argument is that, like Gerard said, that Seth is becoming Becky. No, Becky became Seth because, again, like Becky is now trying to act like Seth. It's the classic case of a girlfriend who wants to be her boyfriend. And I've seen it many times. It's like, it's like she adopts all his mannerisms. She adopts all this. And then it's just like, but this guy fucking sucks. It's like, why are you trying to act like him? It's like, that's basically what it is.
Okay, so Gerard, you think it's the other way around?
Yeah.
Why?
Because for the simple fact, okay, Becky, for the most part, take away the women's evolution there. The four horsewomen. She'd basically be on her own almost the entire time. Where Seth basically has had to be in some kind of faction or something like that, except for maybe the 2 years he was by himself. But as far as I can see, though, Becky has never wore a man's outfit to the ring. She didn't take putting on the Shields outfit, but for the past 5 years, Seth has raided Becky's closet. Okay? Now,
he was wearing fishnets.
So my thing about it is like this. We see what happens Friday night. And if you didn't look at everything that happened off the air, with somebody holding up the Intercontinental Championship, I don't know if they keep him on SmackDown. I think they had him on SmackDown for one reason and one reason.
That was the only reason they had him on SmackDown.
In Chicago.
Now, let me argue a point. Let me argue a point here. Okay, I think there's something to be said about the fact that Becky Lynch, and I don't think anybody can argue this point, was more over than Seth ever was. Let's go back to when she got her nose broken by Nia Jax, all the way to the peak of that run, her at WrestleMania, pinning Ronda Rousey and just being the shit, right? Everybody loved when she was basically this fucking she was wearing the same colors as the chick from Kill Bill. She was Kiddo from Beatrix Kiddo from fucking Kill Bill, and she was out there.
I bet you the man shirt sold more than any shirt Seth put out.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. Now, you come back, and she seemed to have lost her way. When she came back after she had left, and she comes back as a heel and becomes big time Bex and all that other crap, it's never hit the same as whenever she was like the Trailblazer, when she was doing that shit. So I think that, to argue both your points, I think what's happened is Becky is struggling. Again, completely my opinion. This is called the Marks Podcast because we're a bunch of fucking marks. But I think Becky has been trying to find a way. As long as she's going to wrestle, she's going to try to find a way to get back to that same level of notoriety, and she just can't. So she's leeching off the style of her husband to try to find something. I'm sorry. The only thing, in my opinion, that Seth Rollins has is a fucking song. I mean, he's a great utility player. He's absolutely Triple H in the, Triple H was great in the ring, but I don't watch Triple H for his fucking promos. I watched him because he was solid in the ring and he could be a great heel. He wasn't, he could be that slimy piece of shit, which is what Seth is. Go back to Friday. He's over there watching his wife get the piss knocked out of her by AJ Lee, and he's sitting there like, come on, like he's like,
and he fell over the rating. He fell, dude. That's the thing. Like, listen, see, we have a little debate in the chat. One, Universal saying no, Seth is acting like Becky. The other person, Shabana Gupta. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that, but he's saying that it's the same thing. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, this recent heel run with Becky, like the fact that she turned heel and she's out there slapping CM Punk and what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna? And it's just like,
it doesn't resonate with me, at least. I mean, but again, I'm not the fan base that's trying
cringe,
to resonate.
Dude. It's cringe, dude.
But again, it's also bleeding off into other people. You talked about Lyra Valkyria, who you fondly refer to as Bird Girl. When she came out with her Becky Stone Butters, I didn't like it. I thought it was lame.
There's a reason why she's not featured since then, because the crowd didn't react and she got memed on because of it. Because
the closest resemblance, the thing I can relate that to is when Roman Reigns was saying shit like suffering succotash. Some of these guys need to rehash their shit. It's one thing to be great in the ring, but you have to be excellent in the ring if your mic skills suck, right?
I'm glad you bring that up because you just mentioned somebody else's name who was never a good mic worker.
Who?
Triple H. He wasn't great on the mic.
He would do a promo like this.
But you know what, though? He could back up a lot of his talking in the ring.
Well, here's why this shit with Seth is never going to end. Because Seth is Triple H's teacher's pet. This is the teacher's pet. Seth is what Triple H wants to do now because Triple H can't be in the ring anymore. And that's why I always feel like with Seth, because of how, when they introduced the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time, this current version of the World Heavyweight Championship, and they had Seth Rollins and AJ Styles in the mix. I was like, well, this is a no-brainer. You got to have AJ Styles as your first world champion because, the lineage, it's only going to
I get that,
sense.
but they're going to put it on.
And when I saw Seth Rollins was in there, I'm just like, well, there's no goddamn chance in hell AJ Styles is going to win because they want Seth.
Look, Seth, in all honesty, if you go back, Seth is basically, even though he's been to Ring of Honor, he was Tyler Black. He did a one match in fucking TNA. He's still going to be what they would consider a WWE guy because of his time in FCW. That's just what it's going to be. Now.
No, and his ties to Triple H. That's why, for anyone who is asking.
He's one of Dusty's kids. That's what they call him, one of the Dusty kids.
No, I'm pissed because the fact that we got at least 2 years left with CM Punk, and it's being wasted with this fucking dullard. And this fucking it's being wasted with this non-ending feud. I thought when we had the steel cage match on Raw, the first Raw on Netflix, I thought that was the end of it.
I'm with you, and usually you and I don't always agree, Jacob, but I'm very much over the fucking Punk Rollins fucking feud. I'll say this. Is that what they're bringing up? Come on, Becky, do all that to Randy. Look, the Baron Corbin. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Baron Corbin. We should have known that putting them together doesn't work. They did this back in the day with it was Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. No one really dug that. No one cared. It was just look.
I will say one thing. Somebody made a remark about Becky Lynch doing something like that to Randy Orton. Just so that Randy Orton would probably RKO her.
He probably would.
Okay, that's it. He'd get more of the backlash for him RKOing her.
He caught some flack for RKO and Nia Jax.
Yeah.
And I was there live when that happened. I was there live in the building when that happened. Like, literally.
There was cheers, but there was also, ooh.
No. Everyone in the fucking crowd cheered for that because no one, and I repeat, no one in that crowd, again, fucking sue me if this is not true. I was in the crowd. It was 2019 Royal Rumble. That was in Phoenix, Arizona. I was in the crowd, and no one, I repeat, no one wanted Nia Jax in that match. Yes, the initial pop when she came out was great, but then everyone was like, okay, well, I want to see her get beat. I want to see her get thrown out. Did my internet die? The fuck happened?
You're good.
Yep. Oh, I'm fucked.
You're still here.
Oh, did my internet go out?
No, you're here.
No, okay, great.
You're here. So
okay, good. No, okay. So, anyways, but no one wanted Nia Jax in that match. There was a big oh yeah, and then once she got in the ring, everyone was like, okay, let's get her the fuck out of there, kill her. Everyone in the fucking crowd said that. Then once she got RKO'd, loudest cheers. Once she got zigzagged, bigger cheers. When she got 619, everyone in the fucking arena was cheering because it's a good moment. And that's just my excuse to shit on Nia Jax. Nia Jax sucks, but that's you know what I mean. But again, you put Rhea Ripley in the men's Royal Rumble, the crowd would be like, ooh, the crowd wouldn't know how to react because it would work. It would fucking work.
Well, the other thing I took away from Friday night was we'll go back to John Cena in a minute. About next Friday, we're going to have another match for another women's title to where you're going to see Tiffy Time and Jade Cargill.
Well, hold on. Before you even bring that up, there was a women's title that I do want to talk about before we even get close to that because I got words on that too. It was someone brought this up in the chat. Okay, I love Julia. I love Julia when she was in Japan. I think she's done great on the Hispanic market. I think Julia is she's again got the half Italian, half Japanese. Love that, Arrivederci. She just fucking kills it. Of course she does. She has failed on the main roster up to this point, and she shouldn't be. When she came over to NXT, she was
her fault or the management's fault?
What?
Is that her fault or the management's
fault?
Well,
no. Let me put it like this: when she was in NXT. She was clearly the bigger deal over Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer was almost an afterthought to Julia, but now that they've come, and that very well could be booking, it could be her lack of English speaking, but in the same breath, Io, Asuka, and Kairi don't speak they don't all speak the greatest English, but Julia has just seemed to fall by the wayside, and that belt that she's carrying, nobody cares about. Where I would say that Chelsea Green was a bigger deal and elevated that fucking belt more than she did.
Is the woman that she's out there with bringing her down?
I don't know why. I forgot that. Who is it? Kiana James?
Yeah, Kiana James. She's basically taking over the Robert Stone's kind of gimmick.
Fucking bring Robert Stone out there. What the fuck? Why?
I never understand what the fuck the Robert Stone's about. Why did I bring back Robbie E?
Yeah, bring back Robbie E. That was the best thing he ever fucking did. I don't get it. And for Universal, Julia is overrated and is not over. Not over, correct. Overrated. You shut your fucking whore mouth. All right. No, Julia is the fucking best. Probably one of the best next to Stephanie too. That's what I'm saying. The fact that again, I keep going back to this. The fact that in Clash in Paris, all those people paid. Look at the ticket prices for these shows. All right, just go on and look at the ticket prices for WrestlePalooza. By the way, I don't even fucking want to talk about that. But look at the ticket prices that people had to pay for Clash in Paris, and they put Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella on the card. And that match was one of the worst fucking women's matches I've ever seen. And I'm not blaming this on Nikki Bella because, again, Nikki Bella has always sucked. Nikki Bella has always sucked. Okay, yes, Nikki Bella has always been shit. But Becky Lynch deserves half of that because she fucking sucked in that too.
No, okay, so let me tell you why I have a problem with what you just said. Nikki Bella, and again, I know I'm not hating on her. This is not a come to arms to fucking go after fucking her with because of what happened with Wade Barrett. It's not Wade Barrett's fault. What's the prices? €135 to go to fucking Clash in Paris. $4,000 for the highest.
That's ridiculous.
So, it is. So the whole thing came out with Wade Barrett and him saying that, but he was spot fucking on. This is her trying to get Old Glory. Yeah, this is her trying to get Old Glory, and she's just, in my opinion, not able to get up to the caliber that the women are today. Perfect example. She tried to hit a fucking disaster kick, and it was a fucking disaster. She completely missed Becky by fucking 3 counties. She didn't even come close. There were so many times.
She never could work.
Well, then the thing is,
she never could.
You should not get a participation trophy. If you were subpar back then and you got to mediocre, great, good for you. You got a trophy for being a wrestler back then as a woman, and it's no one's fault because they didn't have the standards they do now. I don't Universal. I'm not.
You would have to have been good. You would have to have been good in the first place to get ring rust. There's no such thing with Nikki Bella. There's no such thing.
Oh no, she's worked in years. She's worked.
But worked. What? Ruin? Yeah. She's definitely worked. Yeah. No, but that's the thing. Fucking we're talking about the fucking Bella twins.
No, but let me
these great women's wrestlers.
I'm gonna go back. Hold on, Jacob. I'm gonna go back to a statement that AJ Lee made way back, and I let my wife hear the fucking pipe bomb that she dropped. And it's a sad truth that the Bellas just never learned. Wrestling talent is not a sexually transmitted disease. Okay, you can't.
I love that promo. But you know what ruins it for me is you have the Bella. Every time you rewatch that, you have the Bella twins screaming, "Say it to our face! Say it to our face!" I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's like that. She really is. She's saying it to you guys. Why don't you guys just go do something?
I wanted to let you know because somebody talking about ring rust. I'm gonna say one thing. She doesn't look like she's missed one day. She
threw a more convincing punch than anyone on the roster.
Didn't look like she missed a day with her timing. Okay?
Yes.
And I'll tell you this right now. Her whole cue of going around the ring, and I'm not just talking about what she did with Becky. The whole cue of going around.
Hold on, but Gerard, you can't put AJ. I know AJ looked great in a fucking Thez press, but in a real match, we have to see what happens. You can look great all day long.
What I was trying to say is how she came out, hit her cues, did what she did to Becky, didn't miss a beat. 10 years. There's women who wrestle every week that can't hit their cues. Okay,
but I also think that there's some favoritism here. I like AJ. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like AJ, but in the same breath.
What I'm saying is I studied it really well. There's women on today's roster who can't hit a cue to save their life. This woman hasn't been in the ring in 10 years and hit her cues all on point.
Okay, but that was a segment. All of 5 minutes of her was in that segment. She slapped her.
You got women who can't be in a 3-minute match.
Look, we've talked about it. You got before you can pass judgment, you got to wait for her to actually have a match. And if it's going to be at WrestlePalooza, let's see it. Then I'll absolutely agree with you if she can still.
That match is going to be totally worked by then. I don't get me. It's going to be totally worked.
Well, you're going to tell me that the Bella match with Becky wasn't already worked and ready to go? That
should have been worked better. I mean, they should have rehearsed it better because, like, for the caliber of those two, women.
I want time out. I want you to put that comment up.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe, or if you're going to use it, you keep using a real name, so I'll say this. What's his name? Kobe and Phil don't like each other either, but they do say what you want about them. Excellent matches together.
I don't believe this narrative that they don't fucking like each other anymore. I think they're fucking playing that shit up.
Because, and they could. Like I said, they're working the shit out of everybody. And
they've been married at this point. This fucking thing has been going on for almost 2 years. The fuck? You cannot tell me that they don't at least like working with each other. I would not work with a motherfucker for 2 years if I don't like him. But if they're making money, that's a different story.
Listen,
are they making money with this? Like, I don't think they are.
when you're behind the curtain, from the time you come up open that curtain, you get into the ring, you're making money with people. From the time, and what have we said before? From the time you enter the arena, which is your job, to the time you leave that arena, you're doing your job. You don't have to like everybody you work with any other time. So from the time you enter the arena to the time you leave it, you get along because that's where your paycheck is, right there.
Well, there's got to be some level of professionalism. I work with plenty of people I don't like. I'm not fond of some of the people that I've worked with over the years, but I did a job because I was getting paid by the company I work for to do a job. I don't get paid to dislike somebody. I can hate their guts, but for 8 hours a day, I'm going to pretend like they're my partner and I'm going to do my fucking job.
After work, you're not looking to go out with a beer with these people. You're not looking to swap spit with them. But for that 8 hours,
maybe you were, but I'm not.
No, I'm saying is you're not looking to swap spit or have a beer with them. I'm here to collect my paycheck. That's all I'm here for. That's what these people. That's how people look at it. People.
Well, I just want to know, like, what I just want to I want to be a fly on the wall when I hear Shawn Michaels, talking to these rookies at the Performance Center, like the women, and saying, "Hey, you got to work hard." But don't work too hard because, sometimes we're going to have Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch on a PLE. And you just got to, settle for that. And for the match that they had, for the experience level, I say that lightly when I talk about Nikki Bella. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I got to call a spade a spade. But it's like I want to hear what they tell these people who are way better than NikkiElla ever was. That's just you
go back. Go back.
What do you tell to Roxanne Perez? Why wasn't Roxanne Perez on Clash in Paris? Why wasn't Raquel Rodriguez?
Hey, Jacob, one thing, just some of these people, just so can't actually leave the country. So you don't know who can and who can't leave the country.
Roxanne Perez could have been there.
Yes,
Raquel Rodriguez could have been there.
I know. I'm just saying, some of these people aren't allowed to leave America. Okay. There was one person.
I just want to hear what they tell Sol Ruca. It's like, hey, you're athletic, you're a fitness or Jordan Grace. Like, hey, you look like you're roided out. You look physically better, than most of the men. Because we have fucking Sami Zayn out there sometimes looking like he has leprosy.
You keep going back to Clash in Paris, and you know what I want to say about Clash in Paris? All week long, the person who stole the show just about hasn't been mentioned and sucks. Much as I can't stand the guy, Logan Paul, to me, stole that show.
Hold on. We're gonna get to that, but what I do want to say is this: you're bringing up, and that's a very valid point that Universal made. It doesn't make sense. Now, look, they set up a feud with Nikki. They set up a feud with fucking Becky. It is what it is. All we can do is sit here and critique what we saw. I'm critiquing the fact that
who's the women's tag team champions right
now? Hold on. It's
Charlotte and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
There you go. That's who Roxanne and Raquel.
They've already done their thing. Now they're dealing with the Secret Hervis. But hold on, time out.
Could have fought them too.
They set this up. In my opinion, it went poorly. That whole Clash in Paris card was not great. All right. I guess you could say the Sheamus match was pretty good. I had a decent nap during Clash in Paris. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good nap. But what I'll say is this: we're in a better state in the women's division than we've been in years, to a point where we can now say, and we can critique and say that this should have been better and this girl should have been here. And that, when in years have we been able to do that when we're talking about people like that? And what I want to bring up is in NXT, I saw a hell of a fucking match. And it reminded me of those old days of watching NWA fucking or fucking all the old Turner broadcasts. I saw Last Legend and old Miss Parker beat the piss out of each other. And that, woo! I love Miss Parker. I know that y'all are fond of some fucking Sol Ruca, and so am I. But I like Jada Parker. I like Miss Parker.
I'm looking at the last comment. he was robbed of having a nap.
Now we're getting into the part of that Clash in Paris that I really did enjoy, And I really think we're on the verge of something that none of us thought was possible. A Logan Paul fucking face turn.
You know, I would like to see it if it's done in the right way. And so people understand another thing too is we're almost through the dark days of summer with the WWE. The story writing is going to get better. Why? They're
firing Road Dogg?
Huh?
They're going to fire Road Dogg?
No. We're going to be getting up to Survivor Series, and once we hit Survivor Series, you gaslight for the road to WrestleMania, okay? Every year, this time of year, we say, what the hell's going on? Every year. Well, we're turning the corner now. They're going to start to get into more of the serious lines and stuff like that just because you're going to start to get into that Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania tilt. It goes through it every year. Who comes out on the back end of all this is going to be, AJ Lee right now, I think he's going to come on the back end. CM Punk is going to come on the back end. Where's Becky and Seth going to be on this side? I don't know. Where's I'm going to tell you this right now. Is Jade Cargill on her downslide right now?
I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, I think she is.
I think if she doesn't win soon,
I think she's going to win the belt. I think this opportunity she has with Tiffany Stratton, I think she's taking the belt.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is the fact of 2 years now she's been in the company. Other than a tag title, she hasn't held a singles title.
Yeah, but no, I don't want to. They've dropped the ball on her so much. I don't care. I just don't. I don't care about Jade Cargill.
There's not one person who you can ever talk to who say, if you wanted to build a professional wrestler from the bottom up, Jade Cargill for a woman is your exact look.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. Like I used to say that Randy Orton was, if you were to take a creative wrestler and build him, like that's the specimen you want to use as your base.
20 years ago or the Randy Orton now?
20 years ago.
Because I'm going to say the look that Randy Orton has now, I would take the look of Randy Orton now compared to the kid.
Hey, yo, guys, I'm going to step out for a second.
All right.
Okay. The look.
Grab Jacob.
What? Jade's contract ends this month. Wow.
If it does, and I mean, like, I don't feel like they've gained the money that they thought. But I don't know. Like, we don't know what the relationships are with them back there.
Well, here's my thing. If it's the end of her contract, in my mind, she was given every opportunity to
absolutely
succeed.
But has she lived up? Has she been the bang for the buck?
No. You can't listen. You can only put so much lipstick on a pig.
Well, and I'm going to say this: I'm wearing a shirt of somebody who absolutely lived up and could have actually done so much better, her and her husband, but they were never given the opportunity.
And now if she turns around and goes back to the other company, she's going to be right back in the same position because why? You got a woman over there who has to have her 9 title belts.
Yeah, but do you think Jade gets over more than Mercedes?
She's not going to be Cody. She's not going to go back there.
But again, she's one who's coming over from WWE now. She's got that mainstream.
No, because now her flaws have been more exposed. She's not the same girl anymore. What the hell's going on around here? To leave me alone by myself talking?
I'm right here. I didn't go anywhere.
I'm just saying is though her flaws have now been exposed.
But she had some glimmers of hope like that when she came out of the Elimination Chamber. It looked excellent, and
that's the problem. She not when you come over and stuff, your stock's supposed to go up like this. Everything's supposed to get improved.
She's been peaks and valleys the whole time.
Yeah, she has a very we're talking about Rocky Mountains in the lower plains back to the Appalachians. We're not talking about 2,000 or 3,000 feet drops. We're talking about 10 to 11,000 foot drops. She cannot, and that's the problem.
Well, and also she's surrounded by real fucking talent that is going to bury her every chance because they're that fucking good. It's apples to oranges in the sense that I know I don't like talking about AEW because I'm not a fan, but they're fucking some of the stuff I like, some of whatever I don't. But Go and you look at the roster of women on AEW and the roster of women on WWE, and WWE smokes them. You have a few stars on fucking AEW.
And that's what I'm saying, to where in AEW, she wrestled the same women all the time. But here's the problem. The women she wrestled were half her size, most of them. It's the only booking thing I can say. She basically was doing squash matches, but it looked like she was trying to perform in them. She wasn't just going out there and squashing the opponent. And I feel sad for her because, like I said, she has the look. I don't know if it's for lack of trying either, or the fact of, once again, she was just trained so badly to begin with, she just can't get out of those bad habits. But then when you look at the other company, people like, listen, does WWE have too much women talent to where you can't showcase all of it? Absolutely. But is it like, I'll give you a perfect example, AAA baseball, Major League Baseball. Once you bring those AAA players up, unless they're going to be on the roster 100%, do you bring them up? Or, because you get this kid who's performing great in AAA baseball, they bring him up to the major leagues. After 2 weeks, he's batting 0, and we got to send him back down. You don't want to do that. Once you come up to the majors, you want to stay in the majors. But if they're not getting that time, that's I think, in my mind, a lot of these women in NXT, they're not bringing them up just because of the fact of where we're going to fit them in. What are we going to do with them? And it sucks because you have such a plethora of talent. You almost beg, okay, you had one person go out because she's going to have a baby. But you don't have enough of a person there to, okay, we have the women on the roster for this. We can fill her spot with the women on the roster. And that's the only bad part about it.
Well, do you think that they're doing a disservice to them to have them on TV as much as they do, so there's not enough spots? I mean, it's not
the disservice. I mean,
hold on. Put it like this: Raw is killing it as far as the women's division, right? Yep. What the fuck is going on with SmackDown? And I like, my argument's going to be that it's the Road Dogg, because SmackDown has not been must-see TV since Road Dogg took over as head writer.
I'm going to tell you what it is, and you'll understand this.
Will I?
I watched Friday night, and I'm going to tell you this right now. You have, in my mind, double the commercials you used to have, and those commercials are taken away from the in-ring time.
No, you could say that, but I don't think that's it.
I just think the amount of commercials you have nowadays, it's taken away from your.
That's not an excuse. Paul Heyman, when he was riding SmackDown, it was the highest rated show for WWE. Everybody was watching it, and I don't think there was. And I don't think they had as many. Look, they are programmed to have X amount of commercials. That's what they have to have. They have to have that, right? If you're in business with a TV company, it is what it is. And what I'll say is this: SmackDown, from its women's division, its tag division, its fucking main roster. Who gives a shit about Cody right now? He's the fucking champion. Who gives a shit about the Cody fucking Drew McIntyre feud?
Think about it. They're not missing him.
No one misses him for shit.
And after what you saw Friday, and it's going to carry over to tomorrow night
on Raw.
It's going to carry over on Raw tomorrow night. And so, I'm going to say it does a disservice if you don't start the show with it.
There's a guy that is literally leaving in December, and I care more about his match than I do about anything else other than maybe AJ Lee, and you're fucking world champion.
The one thing I want to say about this comment, somebody spoke, okay, it was a tape show. It was a tape show, number one. Number two, you were going against college football.
It has nothing to do with it. There's nothing going on.
I'm talking about the ratings thing. Tape show, college football, the last major weekend of the summer. I think they doubled. I can't wait for the ratings to come out tomorrow. So for all these people who crapped on them for having the lowest rating last week, when they double that rating tomorrow night.
But what did they have to do to get that? They had to pull a storyline that's on Raw and bring it to SmackDown only because they were in Chicago.
Let me ask you this. In my mind, I think that came together so quickly, it put them into that corner
They were in Chicago.
No.
So okay, so
Think
do you
about
guys think that WrestlePalooza is just specifically to kill All Out? Do you guys really feel that way?
When's All Out?
Same day.
Same day?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's right too, because they switched their time to 3:00 in the afternoon. Which, if I'm right, Tony Khan, the last time they did this, ran the show till 9:00 at night.
They're doing it well, but that's the saying. WWE's counter booking. They've already pretty much put it out there. They're trying to fuck up AEW.
Here's my, and you know what I say about that?
Squash the bug.
You know what I say about that? Don't complain about it. If you think you're better, kill your competition. And you know what? Who watches it?
Well, but that kind of hurts us as fans. Think about this. Wrestling got better. I can't believe I'm going to say this. When AEW started.
And it took a downturn. Hey, here's something I said to somebody the other day. Do you think Tony Khan kicks himself in the ass for fighting for Jack Perry over CM Punk?
I 100% agree with that. But
I honestly don't think he cares. No, I don't think so. I don't think he does because he loves Jack Perry. He loves Jack Perry. He's not gonna,
But yeah, again, this is the tribalism I'll never fucking understand with people. We can have more than one wrestling company. You can like different shit. What kills it is that we don't have enough. We have all these wrestlers that don't have enough time that we like, that we want to succeed, and yet people are wishing for the death of AEW. I dislike AEW. I'm not a fan of AEW, but I don't want people going.
AEW should die.
You just said squash them like a bug.
Yes, well, yeah, but like that's just the sense
exactly.
of, like, that's just in the sense of squash them because they're not on WWE's level and they're never going to be that.
No one's asking for that. It took me a long time.
Tony Khan in his fucking coked out brain thinks he is, and that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to go back to an argument you and I constantly have. Are you in those meetings? Are you supplying him with the Adderall that you think he's on?
I'd make a lot of more money if I was.
That's what I'm saying. None of us know what they're thinking. And I think that Tony Khan turned a corner. Hold on. I think Tony, in my opinion, again, I'm saying in my opinion, I think Tony Khan had a realization when Cody left, when Punk left, when Jade left, when Miro left, when Aleister Black left, when all these guys finally said, fuck you, we thought we were going to greener pastures, but it was actually better over there. And they went back. I think what he figured out is, you know what? I have to stop. I have to stop trying to be like WWE.
Yeah, you mentioned one person. I'm sorry, you forgot to mention one person that I think was the real kick in the ass for him. Okay?
Who?
Stephanie. She worked Mercedes, and the next day was gone.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. They had a realization and said, you know what? And they did. For the longest time, they were trying so hard. Whenever they had the two shows, we're going to split it into two shows. We're going to have Collision and Dynamite. No, this is going to be Punk show. No. I think for the longest time, they were trying so hard to be Raw and SmackDown that they had lost their identity, which if we go back, and I'm talking back to when Jericho had the fucking Inner Circle, him and Hangman, and for the first AEW World title, all that stuff, it was fresh. It was new. It was interesting. People were digging it. I was digging it. And then whenever COVID hit, they were the guys. Oh my God, they're actually doing shit. And we were booing the fuck out of the Thunderdome or the Terradome, whatever the fuck it was. And then all of a sudden they start to drop the ball and then they lose Cody. And then the infrastructure back there fucks off. And the Young Bucks become, in my opinion, some cunts. And then, which they were cunts before, but they more visibly cunts. But then they started trying to be like sports entertainment, and they're not. I may not like the violence to the degree that they got. I don't like watching Swerve Strickland get a fucking syringe through his face. But I have to argue I enjoyed the storyline of fucking Hangman Page going from this good guy to a twisted fucking character to getting redemption to the shit with Christopher Daniels all the way to him winning the belt. I don't have to fucking like a company to like a story. I like I like Powerhouse Hobbs with Samoa Joe in the Ops with Shibata. I like that. I like watching Will Ospreay because he's a very fucking entertaining cat to watch. All that's great, but they don't have to fucking be WWE. So this idea that Triple H has carried on from his fucking father-in-law, we have to crush everybody. I don't like it. It's just not me. More companies need to be in existence so we can have this entertainment that we like. So destroying a company is never going to be something I'm going to support. And I'm always going to be the proponent to say,
to go with your argument, just look at what happened with TNA.
the monopoly that they're doing with them.
Look at what happened.
It's basically WWE Junior.
It always comes back to Dan defending Hangman in some way, and it's just like
Thanks, man.
it's the most Hangman is the worst world champion, barring Jack Swagger, one of the worst world champions in any company ever, and again. I would argue because again, I said, there were, Hangman was doing good, for a couple weeks there when he won the belt. He carried himself a certain way, but I don't know what it is with Hangman.
You just don't like Hangman, which is fine. It's just fine. You don't have to like Hangman, but
I don't say I would. I don't say I hate Hangman.
I didn't say you hated him.
I'm not going to wish death on anyone. I just don't want him to be around anymore because he had a little glimpse of great, because I said it on the show, you were like, oh, are you turning around on Hangman? And I'm just like, no, it's just like, when you put a little sprinkles on a turd, it's like, oh shit, that's okay. At least the turd has some sprinkles on it, And
I'm gonna ask you this: do you like Hangman Page more than you like Seth Rollins?
No, I want them to both die. Like they're both equally.
Wow!
Not to die,
wow!
But I want them to both equally. No, I want them to both. No, Seth Rollins. I don't want him to be around. If he, God forbid, again, if I'd be like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. But Seth Rollins.
I was gonna say, did either one of you hear MJF this week?
He got married.
No. The comments he made before he got married.
What about him?
Oh, with Ronda Rousey?
No, about how he's tired of people putting the wrestling industry down. And I'm like, okay, MJF, just so that you know, this has gone on since the beginning of time. Fans are always going to have their opinions. Fans have their opinions about all aspects of professional sports. You don't want the fans to put down your industry? Do better.
Yeah.
Well, but again, he had a pretty good match with fucking Hangman Page.
Yeah. But I'm just
saying, that was a great match. And again, I can't sit here again. Like most of my fucking Hangman hate is just like shtick. Like I'd say like 2% of it is probably shtick. The rest of it's my legitimate thoughts because I really just don't get the appeal of this fucking weirdo who does he fucking punches himself in the head and then he fucking does these weird convoluted promos and then he does these ninja fucking moves because that's what cowboys do. Obviously, it's like, oh yeah, if I'm a cowboy, I'm going to do some flips and flippity dop stews and I'm going to fucking do some super kicks and you know what I mean? That's what cowboys do, obviously. But I'm going to clarify something for you, Jacob, once and for all. Okay. I do not like the millennial cowboy gimmick. I can't stand it when he shows up. You love Hangman Page.
I don't.
You love his face and you love his hair. You wish you had his hair.
Stop.
It's okay.
I don't like the millennial cowboy gimmick. I've never liked the fact that he rolls up in a fucking electric.
What does that even mean? The millennial cowboy gimmick.
He drives up in a fucking electric truck. What is that? I will explain.
Oh yeah.
He drives up with bedazzled.
What, he wears butterfly pants? Yeah, I'm gonna wear butterfly pants. Wear gear that looks like Dippin' Dots.
Jacob,
remember the Dippin' Dots gear? Can we talk about this?
Time out.
Mr. Butterfly Pants.
I don't like his butterfly pants, no. But I'm not a big fan of the guy who shows up in an electric truck with bullhorns on it. I don't get behind it. Do I think he has good matches? Sure. Okay. I liked back whenever he was in the Bullet Club in New Japan. What the fuck is that look? What the fuck is it? You look fucking Nacho Libre in that when he's at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I told you, Napoleon.
Fucking I love I love the bullet. Like, but I'm also I'm weird because I also like the Tokyo Pimp. I thought the Tokyo Pimp was a hell of a gimmick.
See, the thing is, Jacob, you got to understand one thing. He's mad because Hangman Page took his assless chaps. Okay,
I was supposed to be here next
We're
year. I hope
talking
y'all know
about a
that.
guy who wears butterfly pants. He wore butterfly pants.
And we're talking about a guy in Seth
segment,
Rollins who wears
He was
fishnets.
trying to brawl with
exactly.
people and look like a badass.
I'm not, like I said, but I think the man can wrestle. I would argue that he's a harder hitting wrestler than fucking.
That's great. Fucking Santino Marella can wrestle. Like, you're
We
gonna
can't.
put the belt on Santino?
Jesus.
Well, wait a minute. In AEW, they would.
Yes, they totally would. They totally would. Man, I'm surprised they Danhausen go. Fuck, I'm fucking what?
Speaking of, they haven't. But speaking of which, that's something else that came up. WWE has been showing interest in Danhausen, and he's still being basically put in contract limbo because they won't fucking let him go.
Oh yeah, like what's Tony Khan gonna do with Danhausen? NXT would kill it with Danhausen. Look what they're fucking doing with Mystery Iguana. Like what the fuck? And again, I preface this: me and Dan are lucha libre nuts. Like the fact, like when that Worlds Collide show happened, we were going ape shit because like we've always wanted to see something like that. And the fact that they're doing this like Worlds Collide show and like fuck the Triple Mania happened, it's like a fucking lucha libres fan fucking dream come true. I love it. I love the fact that WWE is with AAA now, and the complete opposite side with AEW and CMLL. They fucking throw out all these great lucha libres.
Hold on. They've got Hologram. Hologram has an evil twin.
What's up? Oh, Hologram has an evil twin. And by the way, it's fucking great because, again, the person that they're going to put as his evil twin is
better.
Really good. It's better than Hologram.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Well,
you know, it's going to be Ares, right? It's going to be Ares, right? Yeah.
You know,
it's fucking horrible.
And let's talk about, because you bring up somebody else's contract. Let's bring up one other guy's contract that we haven't mentioned that gets a lot of internet chatter. La Champion.
Now, baby.
Nope, La Champion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about this.
Gerard is looking forward to them bringing the learning tree.
My thing about that is this. Unless you're going to bring him back in a certain way that he can enhance talent.
You have that photo ready?
Because to me, Chris Jericho.
Get the photo ready.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh. I know what photo. Yeah. If they come back together, oh, good Lord. I know what photo you're looking for, and it better not be a festival. It better not be a festival of friendship.
That one.
She gonna put up the festival of friendship photo?
Oh yeah, our festival of friendship.
Oh, okay. Just so that
Jacob's favorite photo.
Oh,
dude. Okay, so I want to first of all. When they send this shit to
leave it there.
Keep it up. Hey, make it full screen.
Hey, just so you know, you got to blacken out the TV behind you because everything you're doing is reflecting off the TV behind you.
It's just a stream.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I can see her TV.
That is
it's just a stream.
That was one of the worst images I've ever seen in my whole life.
What are you talking about? Your hair's combed. We got to
my hair. Here's the thing, though. Like your hands, like you're reaching for my breastises, and then fucking Dan's reaching for my ass. Like,
what are you talking about? His hand is on
and I'm
your
a baby in this situation. It looks fucking weird. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking
it's the
weird.
Festival of friendship.
It's a festival of friendship. No, it's a festival of fat. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't want to say the full-on word, but.
Look at Universal.
Yeah. See, how the fuck do you think I felt, Universal? What the hell? How the fuck do you think I felt? I'm still real. What
the fuck? The best part is that Jacob fits that little body so great. I didn't have to do much editing on that. It's so great.
That's what I'm more offended about. Yeah. looks good. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that new thing on South Park. You just add a little fucking meat thing, like it would look great. Like, hey, what's going on?
I guess for this guy, it's like walking in and seeing his grandma naked. There's nothing in the right place.
What
All right,
the
ladies
fuck?
and gentlemen, I'm gonna dip out from this podcast. I'm done. This is the end for me.
There's been a lot of things that Jacob was pushed and done and said, but it took the Festival of Friendship to finally break Jacob.
No, but can we talk about that? Like, okay, listen. All right, now let's talk like Uncanny Valley fucking like weird pictures aside. Let's talk about Chris Jericho possibly coming back to WWE. After all this shit that Chris Jericho has talked about WWE specifically, that, oh man, the Hall of Fame doesn't mean anything, you know? No, the Hall of Fame, you know, I don't really care if I'm in the Hall of Fame, you know? I don't know. I think my legacy, you know, it speaks for itself. And, you know, I'm with AEW, you know, the buck stops with Tony. And the buck stop, you know, I love Tony. And I just really think that Tony's great. And then, you know, I never want to be referred to as Y2J ever again. And I really do. And then, like, now he's really going to come back for a big Royal Rumble pop.
I think what it comes down to is Vince is gone.
But Jericho's one of Vince's boys, though. Like, I don't think Jericho ever liked Triple H.
Well, no, wait a minute. Hold on. See,
He does look like shit right now. Who, Vince or which one?
What, me?
Jericho.
What, What, Drunkico?
the one thing I will say about that is this. I think anybody who showed their loyalty to Vince before, take away Taker, Cena. Taker, Cena.
No. Say what you meant. Say what you meant.
I think take away guys like that. I believe the loyalty was out of money alone. Okay. All you gotta do is go back and look and see what Jericho has said since he went to AEW about the WWE. That is not a guy who sounded like he was defending his ex-boss. As you know,
well, to be fair, Bryan Danielson was very defensive of Vince. He's like, "Look, this is our relationship, is how it was." And going back to what Punk said, the reason why they had a weird relationship is because Vince wanted to be father figure to everybody, and he was like, "Dude, I got a dad. You're not my fucking dad."
The sad part about that is this. The sad part about that, and I can say the fact of he treated everybody like that because of the fact the company was his baby, and he wanted everybody to make money for the baby. Well,
but these are all your kids, but you can't be a real father to your fucking real kids.
Hey, think about it. What does every kid do? Grows up. Sooner or later, every kid
I don't
grows
give
up.
a fuck. I don't care how old my kid was. I'm not going to tell him to stab me with a steak knife because he has an idea.
Right here.
Maybe it took something like that.
Right here. And if you don't do it, Gerard, I'm going to have to take that into consideration.
Maybe it took something like that.
I'm going to take that into consideration.
The sad part is it takes stuff like that for some kids to wake the hell up.
What did Shane have to wake up to? My dad's a fucking prick.
Well, Shane was just like, hey, Dad, can I just book one show?
Listen, let me ask you. When Shane came back,
take it from me.
When Shane came back and he gets in the ring and he cuts that promo and he's looking at Stephanie, okay? Do you think Vince was looking at him like it was a great promo? You and your husband have run this company into the ground.
But it wasn't even them. It was Dickhead.
I'm saying is, though, you don't believe for a second that this girl wasn't influencing Daddy?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
Well, this is the same guy that had Kurt Angle put a lip lock.
I think he was trying to influence.
Hold on.
I think he was trying to influence her a little bit.
I would agree with that. You're gonna sit here and talk to the husband of the woman who did the documentary and spent months, who fucking lost years of our lives fucking doing the work on the Vince McMahon documentary where we looked into the whole thing where he basically wanted to have an incest storyline with his fucking daughter.
He wanted to be the father of her child.
I'm saying is you don't think he didn't baby her more than he babied Shane?
Oh, 100%.
That's what he said. He babied her.
But she wasn't influencing fuck all. He wanted to have an incest storyline with his baby girl.
I think we're talking about something that's been talked about ad nauseum.
Hold on, speculatory. I still think that he was. That goes back to that, and you remember this, right? The fucking document in the documentary you talked about how was the storyline where she came out and said all those meetings that I had with your executives, and they told me what you promised them I was going to do for you. I'm your daughter. And you were like, it just sounded so close to home. So then going back to like something with the Macho Man, who's basically confirmed the Macho Man and Stephanie had a little thing back in the day. Who's to say that wasn't set up by Vince?
Oh man, it's just getting kind of.
Don't worry about it.
Getting a little. It's just like here's the thing, like with that. I mean, it's the fact that like Stephanie like has her own podcast now. And she's basically encouraging people to not sign up with this WWE ESPN deal. Like she's peddling VPNs and shit. So it's like, and like every time you could tell because every time they bring up her father on this podcast, I just listened to the recent one that she had with Roman Reigns. And he's like, yeah, your father has been the one that's like, influenced me a lot. And you can just see it in her face. She's just like,
She's always going to be Team Dad. And I don't look, I may not agree with it. And we'll find out what goes on with this court case at some point. I mean, maybe fucking 3 years from now, but we'll find out what goes on. My issues with Vince have always been the previous stuff. I'm talking about the Jimmy Snuka stuff, the Ashley Mazzaro stuff. Yes, it took this current woman to come out and make the complaint. But my argument about her will always be, if what he did to you was this heinous and this wrong, why is this not going to a criminal case? Why is this a civil case? Why do you need X amount of millions? And the reason you said anything or did anything is because you're not getting paid your millions. I understand, and maybe like the truth will come out and I'll be told this is what really happened. Cool. Great. The more knowledge we have, the better. But there was a lot of people that got fucked by this guy. And
literally and figuratively.
But this is not people coming out and saying, she didn't do this for those women. Even though the fucking lawyers are saying all day long, we're doing this for the victims. No, you're doing it because you're filling your pockets. Their stories getting out there is just a happy fucking accident. And I'm grateful for that. But something about this smells wrong and it feels very fugazi. And Gerard, quit looking at me like you're taking a poop.
I'm not saying nothing.
What?
What? That's Gerard's poop face.
Nope. There's certain, you know as well as I do. I got there's certain
looking at me like you're thinking of poop.
I got to bite my lip on some things.
I know you do, but in the same breath, I don't like. Look, we've made it very clear, right? Like in your side of things, and we don't always agree with everything. Talking to the wife. But I don't see Janelle as a 100% innocent party. I see someone like Brock getting fucked over, which I want to talk about that too. But Brock is not in court for anything. Brock is not being sued civilly or criminally. Let's make that very clear. Brock has been accused of having a fucking fetish. At no point in this documentation, which were text messages, etc., does it say that she and Brock did anything. You see text messages between her or him and Vince were basically saying, dude, if I would have messed with your girl, she wouldn't be the same. And it's a bunch of shit that guys do in the locker room. And I get it. It's not the fucking greatest stuff you want to read. But at no point in time did Brock get accused of shit. She ran his fucking career to the ground, trying to make him look like a fucking piece of shit. And there's nothing, no accountability. If you're going to say this shit, that he did this, then sue him. Then fucking sue him.
Hey, you know what's funny is you just said something that. When was the last time you went to a nightclub, a bar?
Many years.
I could hear half this conversation that we're talking about at any given nightclub on any given week, where guys would be looking at girls, say, "Hey, babe, You can crap on me as much as you want to. Blah 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 blah. You can do
What
all
fucking
this.
nightclubs were you going to?
Like I said,
I was about to say what?
no, hold on. I'm saying to you is, you get these guys who drink enough that they will spout anything out of their mouth just to try and take a girl home.
He was 75 years old.
Hold on. I'm saying is a fact of, do these girls turn around and make a civil case out of, hey, he told me I could do all this stuff to him. I want somebody. Like, he's a drunken fool. Okay? As far as Vince goes, I'm not a drunken fool.
He's a damn fool.
A fool, just a fool drunk with money.
Look, there's so many things that you could get Vince on that are actually criminal that he's going to rot, in my opinion, he's going to rot in hell for. But I'm not going to sit here and watch as someone takes down people that had nothing to do with it. Laurinaitis, my opinion, piece of shit. Vince McMahon, piece of shit.
I told you.
Lesnar didn't do anything.
Just an accomplice, man.
I got my mark down.
Gerard, you're still on.
All right.
You told me it was okay. You know.
Again, like
I like shit too. I'm sorry.
Jesus. I know. Like I said, I'm not. I know we tend to go back to
That's
this. The
locked
whole,
in your future and shivers.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. See, Jacob, I understand you being from Arizona, peyote. You know, I get it.
peyote, not
Yeah, peyote.
Peyote.
The stuff that Cheech and Chong was smoking.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Trust me. It's a, I've tried it.
It looks the same.
Not what they say. It's not like it is in Grand Theft Auto 5, man. If you ever take the
Dan, real
peyote in
quick,
Grand Theft Auto 5,
I was gonna say one
like
thing.
that. You don't turn into animals and shit. I was really
Jacob,
disappointed.
Red Sox beat Arizona today.
No, I don't give a shit. Was baseball? I don't give a shit.
No.
Who gives a shit about baseball?
Well, no. Okay, so hold on. What Universal's saying in that, like, that's their bit. Like, look, if they're swingers, that's their business. I'm not here to judge that. What I'm talking about is actual fucking. The fuck is wrong with you?
He has something about swinging. I guess he has something about swinging.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, my issue is more or less the heinous shit that Vince was doing. That's consensual. If that's a consensual thing, that's between them. That's between them and their bedrooms. I don't give a shit. My issue is
shitters.
when you see actual text messages backing up shit like what he did to her. He had
Vince backed up that shit.
Hold on,
Get that shit backed up.
What he did was he had to send her how much money and fucking like
and shit coin.
What he wanted to do to her, or the shit he then what he wanted to see happen to her, but as well as what he did, pretending to acting it out as he was pretending to be Brock, and then whatever happened.
Over the fact that he named dildos after wrestlers, are we glossing over that?
Whatever.
Here's the Mantar.
Did you just really fucking say, here's the Mantar?
Here's the Mantar. You think that's great. Here's my Ahmed.
Well, at least he couldn't talk.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, the Ahmed couldn't talk.
Oh,
Both
well, this one's twisty. This is doink.
I'm afraid if you leave as your producer duties right now, then we never know what's going to fucking happen. So I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know how we end up on this particular subject, but I just
how did we end up here?
I don't know how we went from the Chris Jericho to this thing, but we can go back to.
Because Chris Jericho is Vince's boy, and again, like he's like, oh, you think this is wrong? Y2J.
I think we need to go back to talking about the guy who's retiring in 3 months.
John Cena.
There you go, that guy.
Yeah,
because you can't say Cena.
The guy from West Newbury, Massachusetts,
who's not going to be able to apparently retire in fucking mass.
And that's why I'm glad we can go back to it because.
So talk about it.
Well, the Boston Garden.
Yep.
He'll be. I think it's November 10th. Is going to be his last show in Boston, and DC got the last show. Now, from what I've been told, because DC would pay the site fee and Boston wouldn't. You have to have the revenue there. If DC sits more than Boston, DC can give that kind of money more than Boston because they can put more asses in the building. You can only squeeze so much into a 15,000 seat building over maybe one that seats 20,000. So if it's 1.5 million for the site fee at 20,000 seats and 1.5 million at something that seats only 14 or 15, the 20,000 seat arena is going to always make you more revenue. Unfortunately for John, that's what they're going to look at.
Yeah.
Because now this is the one part where I will say, if Vince is still running this company, he could give a shit. Boston Garden is where that show would be. But because TKO,
we talked about it. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. And I think that we're all in agreement. As much as I don't like Vince, I don't think the ticket prices would be where they're at right now. And a part of me absolutely feels that TKO is trying to recoup some of the money they've lost with the UFC by trying to take it out of the WWE.
And like I said, this thing where a fan runs into Tony Khan, I think it was at Disneyland, and he goes, "Man, what is up with these prices?"
Tony or
Nick Khan. And he goes to Nick Khan and says, "What's up with these prices?" And Nick jokingly said, "What? They're too low?" No, I can't take my family. Those are words you hardly ever heard somebody say with Vince, because he always made sure there was a section in the building that was family affordable, because he knew where the bread and butter was.
Well, he also knows that, like, look, and I'll put it like this: if you look at a WWE show back in the day, hard camera, the side that's going to be shown by the hard camera will always be a little more expensive. But then you have the show that's behind the hard camera; those would be cheaper. Of course, your upper deck seats, but they're not gouging where like they are in the current state of fucking WWE's pricing.
When they did WrestleMania 14 in Boston, okay, at the TD Garden, you could not buy tickets. You had to submit money to be part of a lottery. Okay, $50. I put my $50 in, and I was part of a lottery. I sat in section 316. I got the ticket, sat in section 316. If your tickets are going to get to this point to when they're in such a demand, why not go back to that so you can keep the prices down? But if you get enough people to do it like that. You're taking your common fans and marking them up, where professional wrestling has always been and supposed to have been a family-friendly.
Well, I'll also say this: I don't think it's just there that they're fucking gouging. They're also think, like, look, this shirt is a fucking Fanatic shirt that I got off WWE. Okay, this is less quality than they used to be. It's just not the same. Why does that look? Hold on.
WWE is as low as attending them as ever? What? How are they if they're at their lowest attendance ever, it's only for one reason. They're doing less shows. Hello?
But again, I would actually absolutely agree that TKO is responsible. Hell, this shirt is not the same quality it used to be 3 years ago, and I've been buying wrestling shirts for years. Now, y'all don't like AEW or whatever, I get it. But I bought some John Moxley shirts, and they're fucking chef's kiss. Beautiful quality.
My MJF shirt is pretty nice. I'm not going to lie.
The same fucking price, if not cheaper. I think it has a lot to do with the company that's in charge.
And here's the thing with these fucking ticket prices for WWE, it's fucking outrageous. All right. So when I went to WrestleMania 26, and mind you, this is nosebleed seats. Like, this is like up in the fucking rafters. These are nosebleed seats. My mom paid $600 for 2 tickets and the whole experience, because I got to go to WrestleMania Access. Now it's like a whole different thing, but this was WrestleMania Access. I got to go there. I got to make my whole entrance. I got to fucking jump into a foam pit ring. Greatest experience I've ever had in my fucking 10-year-old life. I got to do a John Cena entrance with my fucking fedora. You know, I got to dance and shit. I got to hold a fucking replica belt. And then that's when I realized that the belts aren't fucking like paper belts. So, like, you know, they actually have some weight to them. They gave me a real replica belt. it weighed me down, and it was fucking awesome. That was $600 for me and my dad both for a nosebleed seat back then. So, but that was with the package for WrestleMania Access. So, like for the tickets itself, it was probably $300 each.
That's $600 when you get you in the door today.
Okay, so
exactly.
Hold on. We went to a AEW event that was in Garland, Texas. What was the ticket for that?
$25.
Yeah.
We were in like the fifth row.
Yeah.
It was
For both of us at AEW, and this was a fucking Dynamite, and this was they taped Collision as well on that same fucking night. $700 for both of us total on the floor, fifth row.
For Dynamite and Collision?
For Dynamite and Collision?
Dynamite and Collision, and they had a Ring of Honor, some Ring of Honor stuff. And we got to,
man, you guys, you good. I love both of you, but my respect for you just diminished a little bit.
They recorded our voices for the fucking video game. It was a good night. They told us like they're coming out and they wanted to record us. They recorded
for how okay, so how much were the tickets each? Like
$350.
Well, it was with fees though. So
what? How much?
The prices themselves, right?
Yeah.
Were $200, $250 each, and then it was all the fees on.
Yeah, so it was $250 each, and then
to see Speedball Mike Bailey.
No, we saw the dark. We saw the Dark Order.
So here's all right. So let me talk about that.
Samoa Joe.
I've been to two
MJF.
AEW events. I've been to two AEW events. One by myself, one with my mom. First of all, the one I went by myself, that was the first time Takeshita was ever on TV. Loved the guy. I thought he was fucking shit. I'm like, man, this Japanese motherfucker has a future. Then the main event of that show I went to, the first wrestling show I've ever been to by myself, was there. I literally was in the nosebleeds. I literally looked and I was just like, okay. And by the way, this is a tip for anyone who's at a wrestling show. If you're at a nosebleed and you look and there's empty seats, go down. Just walk and pretend like you're supposed to be there because you'll get those fucking seats. Because that's what I do every single fucking time I go to a wrestling show. So literally, if you go, I was fucking right behind the hard cam for that show.
We don't condone the actions of one Jacob McGovern, just to let y'all know.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, if you're ever at a show. But literally, I went down, because I looked, I'm just like, there's no seats over by the fucking hard cam. Like, there's no one over there. So I just walked down there, pretending like I was supposed to be there, sat down, was there, right behind the hard cam. Saw great show. Saw Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson fucked up MJF on that show. It was a great time. But you know what was the main event for that show? Jon Moxley versus Evil Uno.
Oh.
That was the main event. And I literally stood up and walked out.
Well,
and then I went to the bathroom. And I was pissing. And I'm just like, you got me. I'm just like, man, you think I'm going to stay for Jon Moxley and Evil Uno? And everyone in the fucking bathroom started laughing.
I can say this.
Hold on. The main event for us was the Dark Order against, I think it was the Inner Circle.
And you paid that much money
and
for
Danhausen was there.
Well, okay. Well, listen, Danhausen rules.
And we were fifth row. And again, I can go back. We were on TV. Like our fucking old Rebel Media fucking logo was on TV. And then we shouted out some other friends that we have. We're sitting there, fifth row, fucking. It was.
Well, I can say this.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it.
Since WrestleMania 14, I do not fit in with you guys because I haven't paid for a ticket since WrestleMania 14.
Yeah, you bougie fuck. Okay.
I've never been more disappointed in you guys than I have right now.
I've been lucky enough. I've been lucky enough to be able to go to shows, but
okay, I've been to WrestleMania and I saw Bray Wyatt win his first WWE championship. I saw the Royal Rumble in 2019 when Nia Jax was out there. I've seen I saw Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles for the WWE championship at a live event one time. That was cool. But you see this, okay, Gerard, we get it. You got extra chairs from events.
No.
But
that chair. I actually sat ringside for Benoit and Angle.
Yeah, and then Dan's over here. You're like, yeah, man, I saw it ringside for the Inner Circle versus fucking Onomatopoeia, and
that was the Royal Rumble. That was the Royal Rumble.
$700, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the Royal Rumble where Benoit faced Angle, and I still get the chip.
I've wasted $200 on women.
Hey, that's why you're single.
Sorry, wait, hold on. I take that back. I respect women. I love women. I've never paid for anything in my whole life. But no, it's like I've paid more on candy bars that I feel bad about, than like man. Right. Dan, I love you. I know you love professional wrestling, but man, that is. Wow,
that's a hardcore.
They at least give you like a goodie bag or something. No, like why? Why, man? Oh man, you're never gonna hear the end of this, Dan.
Oh no, because he was.
Listen, I get shit from a guy who wants to blow fucking Jinder Mahal.
Hey, listen, I don't want to blow Jinder Mahal. Okay, listen, man.
You want your mouth to smell like curry and ball sack.
Hey, okay, now we're never gonna have him on the fucking show, Dan. God damn it! Listen, what the fuck? He's from Canada.
I like him. I like Jinder, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that I like Jinder as much as you.
Smell like curry and ball sack. What the fuck? That's racist, Dan. What the hell?
I was actually leaning towards the idea that you were going because you were going to put that on there.
It'd be racist if he was a true Indian.
No, I would put some chutney on there. I want some curry. Yeah, I'd put some chutney, put some kat masala. I'd put something like actual Indian spices. But you know what I mean. But
we have 13 minutes. But you know what? We have 13 minutes. Let's not fucking code.
Right? Yeah.
You started it.
I know, and I'm wrong. That's on me. So you're a horrible influence.
What do you? Right, I'll tell you this right now. What do you want to see come out tomorrow night?
Gender.
What do we want to see tomorrow night? What do you want to see tomorrow night?
Jacob, listen to Gerard. What do you want to see tomorrow with Punk and AJ Lee?
Do they start the show?
What do you want to see with them?
You have to. I feel like you have to at that point.
Do you want them to have a tag match, or do you want AJ and her to go one-on-one?
Get 2 matches out of it?
Get 2 matches out of it with AJ and Becky. Don't get Seth. Put Seth on fucking Mount Everest where Darby Allin was. Put him on the fucking death zone. All right, like literally. Like who cares? Get him the fuck away from this thing. Get Punk doing something else. Like I want a back and forth with AJ and Becky. That's what I want. Like that's.
Do you think AJ takes the Intercontinental title?
After the reaction that they got the other night from just when she picked it up, I think the fans would go absolutely bonkers.
I almost wish that the fucking U.S. title was on the line because Julia's not. AJ holding that belt would have been amazing. It's not going to happen, but I mean.
Right. Here's my thing for you. Has it come to a point to where, with the reaction that we saw the other night, Triple H, they can look at AJ and say, the quicker we get a title around your waist.
But arguably, go back to what Flair used to say back in the day, does the title make the man or does the man make the title? Titles don't make Punk. Titles don't make AJ. It's great to see them in the hunt, but they're popular no matter what. What Roman proved in the last couple of years, since he hasn't had the belt, he's still fucking over. Roman is bigger than the belt.
When AJ held the title back before Paige took it from her run, she was making that title relevant. Because remember, the Divas title really.
Well, no, and what I think she deserves, honestly, she deserves the big belt. And what they took away from her years ago, and this is going to be full circle going back to Nikki, they gave Nikki the longest reigning Divas championship. They took it off of AJ, which is probably one of the most petty fucking things I've ever seen anybody ever do.
Only because of who she was with at the time.
Exactly. You want to make it right? Let her have that long run. Give her back what you took from her. But that's just me. And absolutely we're going to watch AJ Styles get his ass whooped by the greatest luchador of all time,
Which
El
one?
Grande
Man,
Americano.
Which
I just
El
wanna
Grande
see,
Americano do we get?
This is the dream match that we've always wanted to see, man. Because again, when you look at the history books of history, like El Grande Americano, he's always been there. He's always been lurking in the shadows, and there's always been like a little bit of rumbles. You know, what if
Jealousy.
he came over?
It's the
and faced-
jealousy. It's the jealousy of the
No,
Mysterio
and it's
family.
like it's always like, what if he came over and faced AJ Styles? You know,
Yeah.
what if he came over and faced all these Rey Mysterio? We still haven't seen the Rey Mysterio match. I'm hoping we get that.
Because Rey Mysterio ran away. Rey Mysterio ducked out. He was a coward.
Because Rey Mysterio owes a lot of his influence to El Grande Americano. It's not even like
And to be fair, they don't even say it. They don't even say it.
It's
They
his
don't even say
family
it.
heritage and all that bullshit.
Because they've done such a good job. Because the father knew. So basically, what we're looking at is El Hijo de El Grande Americano. Okay, we're looking at El Hijo de Grande, but they don't say that because he was so good at imitating his father that he just said,
Yes.
"You know what, mijo? You don't have to take the junior. You don't have to take the hijo. You will just be El Grande Americano." And they did it, and it was great. And so that's why he's so great. That's why he's so great. El Grande Americano and Rey Mysterio, and when he was Calibre and Rey Mysterio Jr., he had to go through all that because his uncle knew, mijo, you're never going to be as good. What are you doing, Drew?
You know what, mijo?
You're never going to be as good as El Grande Americano, mijo. So you have to be Calibre the Hummingbird. Okay, you can be the
So
junior.
Universal. All right, Universal in chat. If you're gonna fucking spell my name, spell it right. It's Jakob. I'm sick and tired of this fucking narrative that my fucking name is spelled differently than what it is.
It's
If you're gonna spell
Jacoby.
my name, yeah, it's spelled Jakob, and then you could add an E onto it, or you can add an I onto it, or never a Y. All right, because that's not a vowel. All right,
He's
or
a
maybe
Jacoby.
sometimes it is.
That's why
I don't
he's
know.
Jacoby.
Yeah, yeah, I don't care. If you're gonna spell my name, spell it right, motherfucker. And Bird, it's not Bird Lady, it's Bird Girl because she's not a lady, and who gives a fuck? All right. God damn it! You will rue the day that you spell my name wrong. All right. No,
Hey, wait a minute.
I'm
Hold
sorry.
on.
I was dying laughing over the fucking. Listen, mijo.
Listen, mijo. You will never be as good.
I can't.
You
I
will
can't
never
breathe
be
over
as good. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I can react this perfectly. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Carry on.
Oh God damn it!
Well, all I gotta say is this. Okay?
He's gonna like come out. He's gonna come back with like a fucking cowboy hat or a bonnet or something.
If this is what they've announced for tomorrow night, okay? An AJ interview, Styles and Grande, Lyra versus Raquel. Lyra versus Raquel, we know what's her face. We know Roxanne's going to get involved. Okay, the Usos tag team reunite segment. Okay, but it's from Milwaukee. Who wears out in Milwaukee? Somebody's going to wear out a Milwaukee Brewers jersey tomorrow.
There you go, Universal. That's fine. But no, I mean, honestly, man,
Mijo, you will never be as good.
The Conquistador.
You will
You
never
got the
be.
fucking. You have like the actual Nacho Libre mask. That's fucking awesome.
You will never be as good as Ramesses. You will
Ramses
never be as
is
good
number
as
one.
El Grande Americano.
Like I said,
So that's why you have to be Rey Mysterio Jr.
the
and cut it all
Conquistador.
man. Eventually, your son, mijo, will be better than you, and he will not wear a mask. He will have a beautiful mustache and beautiful hair. I predict this as Rey Mysterio Sr. Your father is so ashamed of you that I have to be your uncle. I'm so ashamed of you that I have to tell everybody I'm your uncle because you will never be as good as El Grande Americano.
Ramses is number one. His muscles are number one. That is fucking insane. So yeah, I mean, I think we've covered everything besides being Ramses being number one. He knows the secrets of desire.
What are you guys doing to me?
Hey man, that's racist.
What's racist?
No, the man, I take offense to that. No, but listen, man, we're sitting here, we're talking about the greatest of all time, El Grande Americano.
And fucking Gerard's over talking about whatever he's talking about. I can understand how you can still hate on El Grande Americano. Did you not see those interviews? And you over here saying that it was Ludwig Kaiser? He's speaking perfect Spanish. His favorite wrestler of all time was El Santo.
Favorite is El Santo. My favorite fucking Mexican wrestler of all time is El Generico. I really don't know what happened to that guy.
He just kind of fell off. But he did train Sami Zayn. He
would come back because this fucking dullard named Sami Zayn is getting booed out of the fucking arena.
He's been stealing his style for years. I don't understand how they allow it.
No, man, and just Sami Zayn is just man. I don't know. They're really gonna make this guy win the Royal Rumble and become world champion. If we're gonna have Seth Rollins hold this title till WrestleMania for Sami Zayn to be the one to dethrone him, then I don't know, my guys. I mean, I feel like I might be done. Like when Dan said he was going to be done if Mercedes won the belt, man. I think I'm going to be done with this fucking company, and I think I'm just going to be an AEW fan. I'm just like, I'm switching over.
If
like
that happens, I'm going to be the ultimate WWE fan. I will never watch AEW again.
Wow.
Yeah, no. It's like, man, Kyle Fletcher is going to be my fucking main guy, It's going to be great, The proto star. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Kyle Fletcher. He just doesn't,
I'm not a fan of anything AEW does. I mean, the fact that they have they have Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and they have the Hurt Syndicate, and they made them lose the titles to fucking Bro Dito.
What?
Bro Dito.
Bobby, where's the line? Where's the? You love Bobby. He said some things. Let's just say he said some things.
What, Bobby Fish?
Yeah.
Oh, what? No, you don't like Fish?
I love Fish, but he said some things, and so where's the line?
Where? What, folks?
Where's the line?
And then all you hear is fucking someone like sneezing in the fucking audience, and then oh, dude, my favorite thing ever is just like when he comes out and everyone chants CM Punk. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. What a great career. Talk is Punk winning the Rumble. Yeah, he should win the Rumble. Because what the fuck else is he going to do? But he should win the Rumble and challenge Cody. Because he should not be fucking wrestling Seth anymore. Why is this still happening? I'm glad AJ's back, man. 12-year-old me, man. It's near and dear to my boners. But I am fucking so done with this. And I feel like anyone else should be done with this. I think Punk is just being a good soldier. I think he's kissing up to the teacher's pet, a.k.a. Seth, because the fact that Seth is still on top and the fact that they're adding Becky to this, it sucks, asshole.
Do you know who we should – you know who I really wish they had they had a real feud, and we only saw it for a little bit, but it was in her debut on the main roster. I really wish that we would have gotten that fucking what's her name? The one you like, the Scott. She's in the Wyatt family right now. Nikki Cross. When she came out, and I go back all those years ago when she was still with Sanity. I'll play with you, Becky. Nikki will play with you, Becky. I thought that was fucking. I love that fucking character. I love that character.
Oh my god, I loved her too, man. Play with my balls, man. Here's the thing: like the fact that they have the Wyatt Six and they don't do anything with Nikki Cross. She hasn't had one match.
SmackDown has gone on a downward skid. Let's just be honest with you; it's just not the same. We got 1 minute. Jacob, I'm better judgment. What do you got to say? What are you expecting this Monday?
I just hope we get that first face-to-face with Becky and AJ. That's what has to happen. It needs to open the show, and we need a promo battle back and forth. We need why AJ's back, why she, we need a good back and forth segment because Becky's good on the mic. She's always has been. I don't know what happened in this recent run, but we need to see a good back and forth. We need to see that. That's all I'm hoping for.
When has Becky ever been good on the mic? All right, Gerard, what you got? Will you quit looking like you're taking a shit? This is a family program.
I guess I'm going to have to say everything twice. Because everything Becky says, she has to say it twice. She has to say it twice. Everything Becky says, she has to say it twice. I'm talking about this, okay? tomorrow night, you have to hit that home run to sell WrestlePalooza. You have to hit a home run. If you mess it up, where does it take you from WrestlePalooza to Perth? And I say, even though you get 2 more shows, you have to set it up right tomorrow night.
Okay. All I have to say is they don't got to do shit. That AJ Pop, all they got to do is have her show up in her fucking Chuck Taylors. It's on. They've already sold that motherfucker. WrestlePalooza. All you got to say is they're having a match. She'll be there. It's on. It's fucking on. Anyway. What do you got? For fuck's sake, Universal. Jacob, I agree with you.
You spelled his name right.
I agree with that move. Okay.
Well, listen, like the whole thing was
Nope. That's why I said, for fuck's sake, Universal, could you start?
All of you Marks have been listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.